In the heart of New York City stands a luxurious, sky-touching building that looks like something out of a dream, but in reality, it is almost empty. Even people with billions of dollars often don't want to live here. The building is called Steinway Tower, also known as 111 West 57th Street. Surprisingly, its width is only about the size of a single tennis court. To build this tower, engineers pushed the limits of concrete, steel, and material science. But despite such advanced technology and luxury, why do people hesitate to live here? When people first see the building, it may look like it could fall over someday. But the real issue is actually the opposite. It almost feels like the building is trying to lift itself off the ground. Because it is extremely tall and narrow, wind doesn't just push from the sides. It also creates an upward force called uplift, which can try to pull the building up. Normally, a wide skyscraper stays grounded due to its own weight. But this tower is so slim that its base weight wasn't enough. So engineers anchored it deep into Manhattan's bedrock, using around 200 steel anchors, nearly 100 feet deep, like roots holding a tree firmly in place. Because land in this area is extremely expensive, engineers used ultra-strong concrete capable of handling around 14,000 psi pressure, almost 3 times stronger than regular concrete. This allowed them to keep the walls thin while maintaining strength. Another major challenge is something called vortex shedding. When wind flows around a tall, narrow building, it creates swirling air currents on both sides. If these vibrations match the building's natural frequency, the movement can increase and potentially damage the structure, similar to how soldiers break step when crossing a bridge to avoid resonance. To solve this, engineers used 3 major strategies. The building's shape was designed to disrupt regular wind patterns. The exterior uses rough terracotta tiles to break up airflow. At the very top, they installed an 800-ton tuned mass damper, which moves in the opposite direction of the building's sway to reduce motion. Even with all this technology, keeping the building stable wasn't easy. In October 2020, while the tower was still under construction, a hurricane hit New York. A crane at the top became unstable, and a large steel component caused damage to the facade. Construction stopped, and costs increased, adding pressure to an already expensive project. 2 years later, when the building opened, it made headlines again, but this time due to its swaying motion. Once considered an engineering marvel, it started raising safety concerns among many people. Originally, this project was presented as a dream. Luxury apartments in one of New York's most expensive areas, offering views no other building could match. The materials, design, and engineering were all top tier, but every solution also increased the cost. Eventually, the total project cost reached around $2 billion. However, when borrowers failed to pay their mortgages, banks took control of the property. Early investors lost their money. Although new lenders later saved the project, apartment prices remained extremely high. Some units cost over $50 million, and the penthouse nearly $100 million. With so many alternatives available, many buyers chose other options. Now imagine you ignore all concerns, have enough money, and decide to buy an apartment here. What do you get? First, the view is truly breathtaking. On clear days, you can see all of Central Park from above. The interior design, materials, and finishing are of the highest quality, justifying the price. But what people don't always mention is this. When the wind picks up, the building starts to move. Slowly, like a giant pendulum, almost like being on a ship in the middle of the ocean. Some find it thrilling, others find it uncomfortable, and it doesn't always get easier over time. There are also sounds. As wind pressure changes, the building can produce creaking or groaning noises due to friction between steel and concrete. Living over 1,000 feet high also brings practical challenges. Water needs powerful pumps, which create noise, and elevators move so fast and so far that your body can feel the pressure. So living here isn't just about luxury, it comes with unique experiences. Despite everything, one thing is absolutely true. This tower is one of the most extraordinary structures ever built by humans. Steinway Tower stands as a remarkable achievement, where engineers solve challenges never faced before. Yet, many of its apartments remain dark and empty. Even those who live there sometimes feel the movement and hear the sounds at night. And that's what makes 111 West 57th Street so different from any other building. Now imagine, if you had that much money, would you choose to live in the world's skinniest skyscraper,